What is up, everybody? It's Silververse here today, and we're gonna talk about the God of War Ragnarok's director said he'll love to make a Castlevania game. She cannot be willing to outsource the license. So, as we know, the Castlevania games has been a dead IP. As that license has been a dead IP for the longest because Konami is just sitting on their ass with the license. They haven't done anything with the license since probably like the 360 and PS3 era with the Lords of Shadow games. Those are the last games they made. They haven't done anything else with them. They made a popular anime series that has 4 seasons, which is very popular. I really enjoyed that series, but other than that, they haven't really done anything with the license besides probably like making like pachinko machines. So it is very sad to see this great license just rot away. But the God of Ragnarok Director says, hey, he'd love to have a shot at making that game, but a lot of people in the comments weren't too fond of that idea. They said that, hey, we don't want this game to be an exclusive to PlayStation, because that is one aspect. This game could, if they did do that, it would be exclusive to PlayStation. Or it's because, or people said that, hey, they did that before with the last Castlevania Lords of Shadow games were like the original God of War games. It was very designed heavily based off those games, so it's kind of beating a dead horse at this point, so I don't know. I kind of wish they just did something, especially like with the Netflix series. I really like that Netflix series. I really would have wanted them to make some type of video game based off the Netflix series or something. Do something with the license. It's just sitting there just riding away. So, yeah, let's see what people got to say about this. Now, I'm good with Castlevania not becoming exclusive. Thanks anyway, though. Yep, this is Street Fighter V all over again if true. Just give it to him. The hard part is a Symphony of the Night set a bar that has yet to be reached for another Castlevania in 2 or 3D. It'll be much better in the hands of From Software. Like, I don't know about that either, because how many games do we need that's like in the essence of the Dark Souls style games? There's so many games coming out with the same engine. I think that I would pass on that too, to be honest. Give it to Mercury's theme and make it like a 2.5 like Metroid Dread. Did they do that with the last? Yeah, they did that with like the 3DS one. So I don't agree with that either. God of War like Castlevania was already tried with Lords of Shadow games with middling results. Unless a new direction was used, I would try it. I wouldn't try it again unless you're trying to salvage the spin-off universe. Konami has let the Castlevania IP rot for years and years, and I would much rather see a proper resurrection of the franchise in the old school way that it used to be, but that is probably wishful thinking. I think they are happy keeping it dead as a doornail, which is so depressing. Like they're just doing nothing with the IP at this point. Being dead is better than being exclusive to one platform, so no thanks. That's kind of a crazy statement right there. At least I don't even agree with that right there. Hell no, Castlevania should be multi-platform. Nope, don't want to slow walk anywhere for a forced dramatic effect. Or give it to Capcom. I mean, I can see Capcom doing this game. Make it like Devil May Cry. Never happening. Sony will try to milk God of War forever. Okay, this guy says, at Konami, a recreation of Castlevania like God of War 2018 will be amazing. I just kind of wish they would do something with it at this point. Like, I guess any style of game would be better than just nothing at the moment right now. So, please God, I beg you, don't let them anywhere near Castlevania. From Software is the only one I would trust to do a modern 3D Castlevania at this point. As long as it's actual Metroidvania, well, it's hand-holding than the current God of War games, I think it'd actually be pretty decent. Please no. It's a pretty mix of people saying this shouldn't happen. Pass, we don't need God of War with Castlevania skin. That's not it. People who have a strange hatred for Santa Monica for making a game with good acting, and it's funny to me. That would be a perfect Castlevania game, Metroidvania game design plus God of War gameplay. I mean, it'd be very similar to how these Lord of the Shadow games were, and I don't think these games did that well. Please, Castlevania has been dragged through the mud enough. Let it rest in peace. Imagine playing a Castlevania in which some annoying sprite keeps saying, "That's like you can break candles to get hearts, or dodge the bones thrown at you not to get damaged." Plus, Lords of Shadow as a whole should have just stayed as a separate game. Richter Belmont leaves his wife, son, and an epic journey filled to their entertaining tutorials. Pretty much just copy God of War. If God of Ragnarok wins Game of the Year, they most likely will lend out the IP to him. I mean, it's not like they're doing much with it anyway. They really aren't at this point. Now, this says Castlevania, like a linear story-driven cutscene heavy action game where the characters are constantly telling you out loud what you need to do to progress through a one-way hallway world. Okay. The dad of Alucard begins. Corey, yes. Eric, not so much. I'm not opposed to letting another dev have at it with Castlevania again, but I feel like it probably is going to be another reboot of the style of Lords of Shadow again. Please, for God's sake, Konami, give us the 1999 game we crave. No cinematic third-person over-the-shoulder action game. It's pretty much what it's going to be if Sony does do what Castlevania game. It's going to be like the same thing as the God of War games, as the Uncharted games. They got the same template going on, so I don't see how it's going to be different from just playing God of War with a Castlevania skin on it. I wish they just give it to a fresh studio instead of just giving it to, like, I know a lot of people are saying From Software or like Santa Monica. I wish they just give it to a fresh new studio, or Konami just resurrect it and stop just being lazy with the IP. Why do Americans always want to make their own game in Japanese franchises? Don't they have enough of their own game series? I don't know. Good question. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think the solution is making Castlevania a God of War skin. I don't mean a God of War game and a Castlevania skin, so I don't think that'll work either way. Now I give it to someone else. You have already effed up God of War. F Castlevania, that crap belongs to the 90s? These dumb MFers in the comments really think that Santa Monica can make a Metroidvania. F right off? God of War is trash and has been since 3. I don't agree with that statement. I think God of War 2018 and Ragnarok were okay games. They're pretty great games. I wouldn't go that far with it. Let's say there's been no good games since God of War 3. It's kind of wild. If Kojima can produce a good narrative-driven Castlevania game, what makes you think you can? Sit down. Santa Monica better leave his dirty hands off a good series. People are vehemently opposed against this. It's kind of hilarious. Because people are saying that God of Ragnarok is going to win the Game of the Year as a high contender to win that Game of the Year. People are definitely opposed to the same people who made the God of Ragnarok to make the new Castlevania game, which is hilarious. No, you don't dare ruin Lords of Shadow combat with the SU pulled. But rather someone do something with it rather than write in a vote only to get wheeled out to be milked for pachinko machines and crap ports. It's just a weird like in between here, because one side you don't want those licenses just to right away just be used for pachinko machines, which I understand. And the other side, it's pretty much gonna be Lords of Shadow again over again, like with new graphics. I mean, I mean, I guess them doing something that's better than them not doing anything at all with the license at this point. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna conclude it right here. We kind of get the gist of it. Some people are definitely heavily against Santa Monica doing anything with this license at all because it's kind of like we got God of War games. We don't need them to just make God of War with Castlevania license or whatever. So another side is saying, hey, we don't want you touching it at all. So yeah, definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Would you like this if Konami lent their game out to the God of War Ragnarok Director, the God of War dev team, or do you think it should just stay dead or be given to somebody else at this point? I don't know. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.